Hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I would first like to come through and say Happy Memorial Day for those people, even though Memorial Day probably is not that exciting of a day when you think about it in that way. But hopefully you have fabulous memories about hey Kajaria. Hopefully you have great memories about the person that you are having those memories of on today. But I just wanted to come through and say that, hey, pretty brown, how you doing, girl? But I came through to um a pretty brown. Let me drop the link for you. Let me see if you feel like coming up today. If you only do it if you feel like coming up. If you don't, then because I might need somebody to to keep me grounded. But sometimes you be coming up here, you be off the chain too. But okay, so I dropped the link just in case. And I said only if you want to hit it. But today I got up and hey Korean. I did a whole lot of nothing today. I had plans of doing some things or whatever, but I ended up doing absolutely nothing, which is you know, okay sometimes. To absolutely do nothing. Cause my mind be going and it tell you that you can't go today without doing nothing. You got to do something. So, okay, I had came on here and talked to y'all last night about some of the things that's happening, right now with me. And one of the things is coincidentally this is Memorial Day, but this my mind been going down memory lane lately. And I can't help it. Everything that I've been talking to y'all about has been memories. But right now, the dilemma that I'm running into is, and I wouldn't even call it a dilemma. It's just natural things that naturally happen in your life. It also tie into where I've been asking the question, can you bring correction to an elderly person? That's just been like the line of where my mind been running down lately. And okay, and I'm gonna say that because today I did a lot of thinking about um people who my mom was friends with back in the days. Now, how I get to this place, I don't even know how I got to this place. But today I was sitting around, then had a couple of phone conversations and everything, and some more stuff came to the light. And no matter how bad I want to push it away and not like deal with it, but how can you not deal with something? So I'm gonna see, can I tell y'all like a little bit a little bit of it without going too deep in, right? So there's some, and I'm gonna still say that they family members or whatever, but you know how sometimes you see things one way when you a kid, you see it with your kid eyes, but then when you become an adult, you see things totally different. Hey, Miss Coffee. When you become an adult, you start to see things differently. So um there were some people that were very friendly with my mom, and I'm gonna say so friendly that when we were little, we knew them by they were our aunties and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that kind of close. So today I was having a conversation with somebody, and they let me know that, and I'm telling y'all, I'm finding this out today, that the people who my mom had us calling auntie as we were growing up, and it's not just one of them, it's several of them. They were friends, obviously, if she having us call them auntie, they was friends with my mom. But I also found out today that these people were best friends slash relatives with the wife. If any of y'all in here that was here last night, these particular people, it's several of them, were not only friends with my mama, they was friends with my mama, but they was also friends with the lady's husband who my mom was sleeping with. So then when you get that, just think about, you've been knowing these people as your aunties and everything for all of this time. But as you're an adult and you got your adult thinking mind, you know, you couldn't think this far when you was a little kid. So this was I kind of like I couldn't let go of just thinking about this all day long. And I'm like, can you imagine your best friends, so much so that you calling this person over here, you tell your children to call this person over here your auntie because you feel like you're that close to them. And not only them, but several of their sisters and whatever, you call them sisters, but they are also best friends with the woman's whose husband you're sleeping with. Now think about where my mind going at now all of this time. So now I'm thinking about over all of these things because I remember some of those conversations, and it didn't come out to today when I was like, wait a minute. So such and such was best friends. I was like, no, I think you got that information wrong or whatever. So I'm going back and forth with this person. It's like, no, I'm telling you, they were best friends or whatever. So now it's like I'm looking at it and you sitting and I'm thinking, I'm telling this person, let me get on the phone and call auntie to see if this is true. Because this got to be wrong. This can't be real that auntie. And I just called you up here to listen because you know me, and then you know part of the story, but I know you're gonna continue, you're gonna ask some questions. So
I still can't find my laptop.
As I'm finding out, that they supposed to be best friends, and this now I got questions because remember, and I told y'all about the night. I said there was this one night this lady comes over, and I'm saying lady, but this is the person who my mom has raised us up calling auntie forever, right? So one night she's over there and they in the living room talking, and this is the night where I'm telling you about. They over there talking, and the lady comes, the lady that my auntie, and I'm just being respectful and not saying no names, but the lady that my mama is talking to, which she telling us to call auntie, was the one that was sitting in the living room on this particular night when my mama and her was having this conversation. And while they was talking, my mama said, you know, as little kids, we sitting there and we stand in their mouth while they talking. So my mama say, go to your room since you sitting here staring all in our mouth, right? And we all know that because your mama sent you to the room don't necessarily mean that you is not listening to what was happening in the conversation. So this is the conversation where about I'm telling y'all this particular night that I talked to y'all in you know previous videos before, and I told you all that. This the night when the day when my mama came home from work, and she was mad when she came home from work. So that night, her sister is coming over there, and her sister having a conversation with her, and she telling the sister that what happened, why she came home from work that day. And this was the day when she was walking down the road, and this man's wife offered my mom a ride. So now I'm hearing about the story because they sitting in there. You got grown folks sitting in there talking. They sitting in there talking, and uh, us little kids are in there. But to find out today that these people was friends with my mama and also best friends over there. Am I wrong for having questions about what is this person really a friend of my mama's or whatever? It's like I got questions, but I don't have questions like for nobody. I literally got into the mode of where I'm looking to have a fun today. I was going through channels and stuff to get to have a conversation with this lady. So being that and when I say the person that I want to have a conversation with, the person that I want to have a conversation with is Auntie. That's who I want to have the conversation with. Would anybody else not have any questions after knowing what you all know so far? No, nobody wouldn't have any questions, like, because I'm almost feeling like looking back, just looking back how things was back then, I'm almost positive. And I hate to be blaming people, but this is how I feel right now. But I almost feel like these people was keeping up drama, helping, what you call it, perpetuate or whatever. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, this where I am right now. I don't know what growth gonna come from this or whatever, but for whatever reason, I know that I can't let it go, and especially that everybody else able to tell they part of the story that's lies. So I'm here to tell the truth. Girl, you is looking real crazy right now. What is you doing? Hello, Miss Berry.
I'm trying to log on, and I'm still trying to log onto my laptop, so I ain't heard nothing you said.
Oh, okay then. Well, anyways,
what you said?
I just said today I found out that one of the people who my mom was requiring us to call auntie, that I know that she's not like a blood auntie or whatever. It was several of them. I came to find out today that, remember, my mama had the kids with the married man. She had 3 children with him. But come to find out today that a few of the ladies that my mom was requiring us to call auntie and say that we related to them, they was also best friends with the wife too.
Dun dun dun.
And so today I was trying to set it up where I can have a conversation with auntie. And it's like, what you gonna say? I got questions. I got questions about everything. Even though I would, as a little kid, they would be talking and stuff, and then they'd be like, go to another room or whatever. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't listening. So I remember this story on this day, and everybody's trying, especially when everybody's trying to tell you, you don't remember nothing. You was too little to remember that. Hey, Albert, everybody's saying that I'm too young to remember that, and I can remember a lot of stuff that people think that I should not remember as a kid. So I remember on this particular day, I can get a picture and I can show you the picture. I can show you where my auntie was sitting there, where she was sitting at on the sofa that day, and where my mom was sitting at in the living room when they was having that conversation that night. And so when it came today, when I found out that not only is this auntie related, she's supposed to be sisters with my mom, but she's also best friends with the man's wife who she's sleeping, who my mom messing around with. So I got questions. So I'm just like, am I wrong? Am I wrong for having the questions and not? But listen, today you have the wife that's saying I've been lying about a lot of stuff, right?
You.
Yes, calling me a liar today. Everything that I say, I'm not telling the truth. I haven't been honest about it. Whatever story she's telling has been the truth. So I find out today that her and my mom had the same thing. And I just want to ask her that on that day, I want to ask her about the story that I have and was my mama talking to her. And if she can tell me yes or no on that day, whether I'm right about the conversation that was happening there in the room that day, I don't need anything else. I just want her to tell me, yeah, that conversation had. Because who else gonna tell me about the story? My mama is passed away. I haven't talked to them in years and years and years, but I got questions. I don't even know if I'm making sense to you. I don't even know why I'm talking to you. You a jitterbug. It's here. I guess so I can just stay because you always be asking questions about stuff. And I know you like thrown anyways because you was like, I'm there, but I didn't know all of this stuff was happening because we didn't talk about a whole bunch of we stayed on what we was living in then. Yep, I grew up believing Aunt Helen was my aunt. She was a friend of mama's. Hey, Miss Monet, how you doing? But I have so many questions because now let me tell you something too about these aunties, and I'm just being honest. My view of those aunties from back then, they gossiped about everything. They always was telling people business and all of that stuff. So being that you were so much in everybody's business and stuff back then, like I need you to answer one question for me. And if I can tell you that, then I'm gonna know that my memory is on point with every single thing that I have been saying forever and a day. But I'm telling you right now in today, I'm being said that I'm a liar, that I'm not telling the truth about what's happening, and what they're saying over there is the truth. So, it is crazy to me. And right now, it's like I can't even tell you that. I'll be lying if I say that I'm not, because before I'm looking and growing up with these people as my aunties, as I'm growing up as kids, right? I come to find out later on, no, they're not actually your aunties. They are people who you was around. They're more like god sisters and stuff like that, which is fine and dandy. But now what I'm looking at, the whole picture is like, and two, I've tried to have serious conversations with a couple of them or whatever, and they'll be like, I'll call you back, but you never get that phone call back because I'm asking real questions. I'm asking about stuff, and I'm bringing up stuff that happened back in the days. I don't care if you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to hear it. If you don't want to talk about it, then you better not answer none of my phone calls, and you probably don't want to talk to me. Because right now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's coming up from my childhood and stuff that I got questions about, and I feel like I deserve the answers. Maybe I don't. I don't even know. I don't even know what can of worms I'm about to open up, but I can't pretend like I don't have questions about these things. And I'm thinking if she answered my question the right way, it probably gonna open up a door for me to ask another question and another question and another question. I just don't know yet. And to be honest with you, I think people are starting to like dodge me. And I'm not being mean to anybody, no nothing. I'm just being straightforward and asking the questions that I have about what was going on when I was a kid. And not only to now have one of these people who are much elderly than I am, I don't know how much older she is than me, but I don't care who they is. If you are grown up, you an adult or whatever, and you calling me a liar, baby, I'm ready to go head to head with you about you telling me that I'm lying about anything. I don't care what your age is. So and I'm not saying that my memory is perfect, but I'm saying so far everything that I done bought up before in my situation, there is somebody that can prove and say, yeah, that did happen. I mean, I was telling somebody some stories about stuff that when I was 4 and 5 years old, and she cannot believe that I can remember that. I can remember where everybody stayed at and everything. But at this time, it's like there's really no smoke from me, but or whatever. But the minute you start telling me that I'm lying about what I'm saying or what I saw, we got to find the evidence. We got to figure this out because Shauna don't want to be no liar. I don't be wanting to be lying on nobody. And I'm telling you all that where she picked up at is if she couldn't get her fingers into my mama. She couldn't get revenge on my mom like she wanted to. But it's like, if I can't get her, you will do just fine. So I don't know where this is going, but like I told somebody today, before this week is over with, something gonna happen. And you can mark my words with that. Before this week is over with, something is going to happen. I don't know why all of this stuff is coming back up right now. I don't know why I'm trying to be made to be the liar about what it is, what it was, but and there's proof, so much proof before we even get to this point, that even from the beginning, that the daddy called and lied to the government and told the government that he had custody of the children, when in fact I can show proof of that. I had the kids here in Orlando registered going to school, and he called child support and told child support that he has custody of the kids and they were living with him. How is that possible? How could they have been living in Georgia and living in Orlando at the same time? How could that be? So right from the beginning, where the lies had started being told, it's just now, should I just let it go away? And even though I'm not really asking that question of anybody, because I know that I'm going to talk about it point blank period, because I've been shut up for so long. I refuse to let somebody come through and tell a lie on me. Do not lie on me. And I don't know if it's because I look so much like my mama, but honey, I'm here to tell you, I never touched your man. Don't want to touch your man. I don't even like your man, to be honest with you. So I don't know what her aim is, but for me, the more she want to dig into this, and anybody else want to dig into it, the more questions I hear, I'm going to take it as if she got questions, and I'm going to answer them. I'm going to answer all the questions. But I'm telling you that I'm looking to speak to that auntie, because I got some questions. So, Miss Berry, you are mute. You're muted.
What you say?
I was just saying that you're muted.
I'm beautiful.
Yeah, you're that too. But I said you were muted.
Hold on, let me turn. I'm fighting for my life to try to get on this live.
You're on the live already. I don't know why you fighting so much.
And now I'm on the laptop like I want it to be. And now that I see my fro.
All natural. Okay, this ain't the mirror. This ain't none of your mirror. This is not your mirror. I thought you was gonna ask a question, because you usually have questions about everything. Well, wait a minute, Miss Jack. What this? How this happen?
You know, I have a similar situation. Not similar, but like my mother's father was a married man.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother has 6 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of just like her and her sister. But he passed away. I don't know a lot of information about him, but one of the big stories is they all went to the same high school. And they're like back to back. My mom is 53, and her sister, she got a 52-year-old sister, and she got a 54-year-old sister. She's not quite 54. They're like 9 months apart, like 10 months apart.
Mm-hmm.
And on her 16th birthday, her sister pulled up with a car from her father. And
What?
That devastated her. she never got like a big gift. But it's just strange to see it in your face,
Yeah.
and that always like ache for me. Like I don't know what I would have did with that. But
Well, my story is so different because I don't have the same father as my siblings or not, none of that stuff. And it's so weird how all of it is falling on me. It's like it really is like, well, we couldn't get your mama, but we definitely coming for you. Definitely. I mean, I did everything wrong. You know, when and told all the people I wasn't taking care of the kids. They didn't have none of the stuff that they were supposed to have. Like, I did everything wrong. And so for me, um, you here now, it's too late. What you mean, Shalissa? You say I here now, it's too late. What you mean by it? Um, so I don't know, but right now this is where this the place that I'm in right now, and I just know that before this week is over with, something definitely is going to happen before this week is over with, and what that thing is, I have no clue. I'm telling
I
you,
hope
I don't.
it's my interview I had, and they called me and tell me I got a job. I hope that's what it is.
Oh, well, did you plant a seed?
I've been trying to. I, I saw this thing that was like, watch the music that you listen to. Oh, and I want to talk about how I'm mad at you too.
You
But
mad at me?
watch the music you listen to.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we're gonna get into it. But watch the music that you listen to, because I don't want to get too spiritual, but music used to be a form of torture and chants and stuff. You're chanting this stuff. Oh, the single ladies, like, that ain't really nothing. I don't really care about being single, but if you don't want to be single, you shouldn't be singing single ladies. And me, I still listen to Tony Braxton, Anita Baker, and so I've been trying to like listen to songs that are saying, like today, I just listened to God's Got a Blessing because I didn't know what else to listen to. Because I was stuck on this. I've been listening to that song Life that was on the movie Life. I think it's Life with Casey and JoJo.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did I get life? I need to stop singing that because I ain't trying to go to jail. But it's just a song. But I'm like, I don't want to. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just, I just like the emotion that they're putting behind the song.
So how does
Somebody
this
done done
tie?
me wrong.
Yeah. Now, how is tying to you being mad at me? What I said, now,
Oh,
what I don't say.
because you said with my situation that I had, well, I'm going to say it if you're not going to say it. If he's not supposed to be in your life, God remove him or something.
Yeah.
I ain't heard
Lord,
from
if
him.
Lord,
I ain't heard from him.
if he ain't for me, move him out of my life. But I tell the people here that I say that prayer all the time, and people, yes, Alyssa is one of the people who don't like that I say that. But if the opposite of that
You
is
took my man
if
from me.
oh my God, no, God took your man. God took your man.
No one asked you to say that.
Well, okay then. Right. So, okay then.
It don't have nothing to do with her topic. I just, anytime you're gonna see me up here, we're going off the deep end, boo. We finna be like this, boo. You want to be on topic? You might want to come back over.
Y'all, she a mess. Might have to throw her down. She like the baby brat. She the baby brat sister. That it takes some you have to drag her back onto the track the right way. It's so tired, and then she'll be like, okay.
But I think she asked me how I was doing or something.
Who?
She was like, "How we got on this topic? This ain't got nothing to do with her topic."
No,
But
yeah, she's asking why how did we get away? She said, What's that have to do with your topic, T?
It don't have to do with it, but you asked me how I was doing or something. So, oh no, you said something big is going to happen. And I started talking about my interview,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
then you said that I plant a seed, but my seed that I'm trying to
Yeah, did
plant
you
is
plan it?
watch the music that I'm listening to. So
Well,
on topic, but I ain't.
but back to the subject. When I say something's going to happen this week, I feel like, and I'm gonna tell you what my hesitation about just go ahead and jump, because I have a whole lot to say about it, a whole lot. I was like, I'm gonna um pull out my journals for this right here, because I got all of this stuff written down, right? And I'm going to tell you over and over again, the only people that I am being mindful of at this time is my sisters and brothers. That's it. And the only reason why I just haven't, like, because literally, like, I'm so frustrated at this point. Like, I'm like pushing back tears. And y'all, they already know on here when I'm pushing back tears, like, I'll be ready to come on here and just let it flow, because I cannot stand, especially for a person that I know personally and got so many different things tied in together, for you to stand and be lying on me. I'm ready to pull the whole encyclopedia out and slap it on the desk, playing around with me. But I got a whole bunch of consideration. Because, you know, my sisters and brothers is like my kids. If they was not on the table, I'd be done laid these people out, and they'll be casket ready, sharp. But I got consideration for my sister now. But after a while, because, you know, all of them are adults now, my consideration is going to fly out the window, because I got a mouth, and I've been holding on to all this stuff that been happening all these years. All this time, you don't know that you ain't heard me say nothing about none of this stuff. I kept my mouth closed. I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't sleep with her husband. But I'm telling you right now, where we are now, this lady has literally put me in the spot of my mama. She put me in my mama's shoes. And it's like, whatever she couldn't get my mama for, is like she after me for what she couldn't get from her. It wasn't good enough that you was able to get her kids for a little bit of time and finish raising them. You did that so you can be able to shout to the world. But now, what are the kids saying about you raising them? Did they feel love while they was with you? Or did you take them and do things to them that you shouldn't have did to them while you had them? Because, see, now those kids have a mouth. And not necessarily that those kids told anything. When kids are given stories about stuff that happened, I'm their big sister. They don't know me their whole life. What do you think happens when they come back and ask you a question? Just like if I told you something about your mom that when you was a little girl and you don't know anything about it, but you curious about it, and it pop up in your mind while you sitting there talking to your mama, you ain't gonna ask your mama none of the questions. You're gonna eventually ask your mama the question if it bothers you enough. And so, being that, you know, my consideration is I don't want to use it as like my sister and them came back or my brother and them came back and told me anything. No, you know just about what go on with the questions that they ask you, and it's like, why are they asking these type of questions or whatever? And there's the age that they are or whatever. Like, who's talking to them about this stuff? Which then in turns lead me to ask more questions. So now I'm knowing all this time I've been holding on to it, they've been asking my little sisters and brothers and them questions and stuff about my mama, the way my mama lived her life, told them all different kind of lies and stuff that wasn't true about my mom and everything. I didn't say not one word. I didn't hear. The only thing that I said to my sister is I told them what the truth was, whether it hurt my mama or it hurt them. I wasn't on neither one of their side. I was on the side of right. That's where I was. But
I want to say something, Leah.
okay, go ahead and say it.
When you
Cause
said something about kids saying something, My cousin, Helen's sister, son, he used to play sports on the weekends, and he would ride with his dad. So he would be saying, "There's this boy in the car with me. There's this boy in the car with me." They thought it was an imaginary friend. Why? It was never an imaginary friend. It was really his brother, and that's how they found out that he had been cheating and like produced a child. And it's like that is just when I heard that story, that blew my mind because like just because he's 8, you're gonna be like, oh, it must be an imaginary person in the car with you. I would be like, what's his name in the car with you today? He went to your baseball game with you. I would, you know me. I'll pop up to the baseball game like, oh, every Saturday. Oh, I'll be there next Saturday if it keeps coming up too many times. But that's just so crazy how they just thought it was an imaginary friend. Helen thought it was an imaginary friend too, and it was really his brother. And he still don't talk to his brother to this day. I don't feel like that's right because he don't have nothing to do with infidelity, but he feel like he took his life away because they my aunt left him. But that was her decision.
Hmm. Well, and then Shalissa said they have their side of the story and you got a side of the story. But see, I've been quiet all this time. This stuff happened. This stuff was happening. Well, my mom passed away in 2001, right? So, of course, I have the story prior to 2001. All, when they were first born and everything. I have all of that, right? But for me, like the story, this part of the story didn't start until um after my mom passed away. So it's like, oh, that's pretty. After my mom passed away, then all of this other stuff started. And I've been quiet, not saying anything to anybody, been allowing them to say what they say. At one point, I even felt so bad for her. I almost felt like, and anytime you coming from a place of where you have been a person that people been able to do whatever they want to do to you and nobody ain't getting no consequences or nothing from it, you kind of make yourself that kind of person. You like a martyr or something. Um, you know, as you grow up and then you learn something different. So at a certain extent, I almost felt like I deserve, I deserve, and maybe this is why I'm so angry about this right now. There was a certain part of my life where I felt like I deserved for this lady to be mad with me because of what my mama did. But how do I got anything to do with that shit? I was 9 years old when they decided to do this. Like I got some kind of magic something that can say I can stop them from having that. I'm 9 years old while they participating in the relationship. I don't got no choices. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what's really happening at this time. I'm seeing this man come here and go, but I have no clue. I can't change anything. But some kind of way. And ain't gave her husband not one. And one part of me wanted to feel sorry for her, but then I can go back and I can think about it. You want me to feel sorry. And okay, you took no accountability for the relationship that you, and I'm just gonna say it like it is, because I just don't have it like that no more, to be quiet. You want to take everything that happened that you couldn't give to my mom and you want to give it to me. But you ain't got no accountability and no smoke for your husband. This the problem that I have where I had to turn it around and I had to stop thinking that I deserve any of the smoke that she given, because you had one with her, which was Shalissa. You had the first one, right? Mind you, I'm telling you about the point when we at the doctor's office and those two is in the doctor's office pregnant again at the same time. And they finna fight in the doctor's office. You mad at me, but you ain't got no smoke, and you ain't mad at your husband for nothing. And this on baby number 2 that y'all getting ready, but you accepting them back every single time. But not only did it happen twice, but it happened a third time and she still kept him. But you mad at me. You mad at me and ain't got no smoke for him. And I swear for God, right now today, I think he's still the same nigga he was then as he was that he was back then that he is right now today. And that's just true tea. But you mad at me, but no smoke for him. None at all. How it jumped way over there. And you mean to tell me after all these years you accepted him back? Because he went back to her the day my mama gave birth to my baby sister. The same night. Let's talk about that. The same night my mama gave birth to my baby sister was the same night he went back to his wife. She accepted him back. She was living way in Georgia. My mama them was in Guilford. She accepted him back then.
I have a question. What is your... You don't talk to your dad, like you don't ask him any questions?
Hell, I got questions with my daddy about what happened to me. I ain't not trying to ask him no question. He can't answer any of those questions. So why I'm gonna ask him anything about my mama them situation? Because see, that's gonna make me mad that he'll be able to answer my questions about what my mama them situation was, but he can't answer none of my questions that I don't ask him. So it's almost every adult that was in my life back then. I got issues with him. Not like no smoking or nothing, but you can't be smiling in my face and pretend, and you want me to pretend like stuff didn't happen the way that it happened. I can't do it. See, right now I've considered everybody else my whole entire life. Now I got so much consideration for myself. I can't smile in any of these people's faces. After I tell my dad about what happened to me as a little kid and he don't acknowledge and say nothing, we can't move past that. You can't acknowledge that you even received the letter. If you can just say that, oh, I got your letter. He can't acknowledge none of that, baby. We can't move past where we at right now. Because what we gonna talk about if you can't even acknowledge my pain or whatever, what happened before? I don't want anything from you, no nothing. If we can't talk about this right here, and I'm an adult now. You can't tell me to shut up, go over there and play somewhere. You can't push me away, no none of that. But you actually can, but I can also push back, which means I don't receive any phone calls. Not that they're not calling. I don't accept no phone calls or no nothing because now I get to make decisions what I feel is best for my life. The same way they did back then. Tashana, you're gonna tell everything. You're not gonna hide or cover up. I'm really not hiding or covering up anything. And you just don't even know how head over heels I just want to dive off the deep end real quick. But every time I'm getting ready to go there, it's like the consideration for my kids always come up. Always come up.
You know, for me, even though I'm way younger than you and you have a child older than me, I worry about monitoring spirits as far as you. Like I don't like the idea that someone could be enjoying your mess. So I don't like that. But
Okay, so wait, say that again. Say that again, what you just said.
With you sharing your story,
Okay.
as you know, my sister, even though you have a child older than me, I don't like the aspect of like possible monitoring spirits and people could be enjoying the mess. Like I want you to release, but like I don't want people to find enjoyment in it. But I don't have any control over that. But I just be like,
what enjoyment, and who's going to get the enjoyment out of it?
Whoever's monitoring somebody could just enjoy it. And I don't want to. I don't even know why that be popping up in my mind, but like I don't like that someone could be enjoying. Like this is just a story time for someone. Like, oh wow, this check this
Oh
lady
well,
out.
you don't. Well, a lot of people are on this app for entertainment, and as much as I would like to say it is entertainment for some people, but unfortunately, this is my real life that I'm trying to navigate through. And I know that trying to navigate through these parts and everything, there's a whole bunch of other people who I know you don't even understand. I can go back and even on Facebook, my memories remind me that I had questions about this stuff 15 years ago. And I just never ever, like said, it was times when I would send people messages and ask them how they felt about these conversations and stuff. And I just never like said it like out in the open or nothing, but it's like the bell is ringing louder now. It's like it ain't trying to go nowhere or no nothing. But I'm not trying to hold on to any of these people dirty little laundry secrets or no none of that at all. I'm ready to pour it out, but what I don't want to happen is like I just don't. And even though I don't have any control of it because it's gonna come out one way or the other anyways, I even said today, let me tell you something. If I could, if his wife would say she'll come on here and talk to me, honey, we'll be on. Don't think I'm playing. I'm dead. I am dead serious. If there's a person in this world can get her and pay her to come on this internet, baby, I've been ready to talk to her for a long time. I even tried to get Shalissa to put her ass on the phone before, and she wouldn't get on the phone when she was trying to cause distinction between me and my sister. But see, Shalissa didn't want to be in that, and I can feel
Shalissa, you need
because
to change your name.
that she was in at the time. I know that she didn't want to be a part of it, so it's like I have a lot of consideration for my siblings and everything. But I'm telling you, I want to have a conversation with her, and I guarantee you, she come face to face with me, she gonna haul ass running because I know she not. She already know, and they ain't like they ain't already watching anyways. They already know, and they just ain't saying anything. But baby, I'm here to tell you, I want to talk to you out here in front of all these people. I want to talk to you. I'm telling you, at this point, if I had $1,000, I would pay her to have a conversation with her, and I know she gonna end up running. Cause Shauna ain't gonna change anything. I got questions, I got them lined up, and I ain't even got them on a piece of paper, and I can run them off.
To the comments, I just want to say, Shalissa, no, I'm saying like I don't like the idea that people in your stories too. I don't like the idea that people could be enjoying, like, because this is not enjoyment for me. And I actually had to pull back for a while because I'm not used to seeing you cry, so it was like really hurting me. So I had to.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't really been on here in like 3 months because I can't. I'm the oldest sibling, so there's a part of me that wants to like rock the baby, but you're not a baby,
Right.
and feel like there's something I need to fix, but I can't handle it. But I was just saying like I don't the idea of people enjoying, but I know it's probably people more sharing their experiences with y'all rather than somebody like, ooh, this is messy, let me pull out my popcorn. But just the idea that someone could be enjoying this, I don't like it. Not that you should stop. I'm just speaking to the comments. Not that you should stop or
Well, I know
anything
for
like
you
that.
it's a different thing because, like you said, I told these people already on here that nobody in my real life is used to me ever crying tears. These tears is not like everybody used to seeing me say what I say and think like Shauna's like the strongest person in the world. That's Hercules right there. And like
You're
I
no
don't
limit
never cry.
soldier.
Yeah, no, but if you can see me going through what I'm going through right now, just think of all those people you've been thinking be so strong. It's like they've been, because that's like a learned behavior to like hide how you really feel, or don't share. No, I can share an emotional time with you, but I ain't gonna get emotional. You ain't gonna get no tears or no nothing from me. And the tears right now is about Because see, had I been able to cry or whatever when I was a little kid or whatever, I probably wouldn't be crying any tears. I would be harder than what I am right now. And sometimes like the tears are more so about is like when you used to fixing things the way that you fix them, which is ain't always the right way to fix things because it usually tear up something else in the way that I used to handle things, right? When those things no longer serve you, you have to figure out something else to do. So my time has passed on the fighting thing, the going back and forth with people, no nothing. Because honestly, I don't want to have no argument with her, but I want to get my stuff off of my chest and I want to have the conversation. I'm not even playing. I am dead serious. But I know she'll never have a conversation with me because how do you have a conversation with somebody who willing to tell the truth, whether it's right, wrong, ugly, indifferent, whatever, and all you got is nothing but lies. Everything you done said is a lie. You done lied to your kids. You done lied to your husband. You done lied to the people at the church and everything. And one thing about that is all those people you went to and lied to in the church about me. See, she can't remember all the lies that she done told those people. But those people remember the stories that she told them. Those people remember that. So, um, yeah, I'm telling you, I want to have the conversation with her, which I probably know that it will never ever happen. So I have to do what's
You're
gonna
making
help
me
me.
think about something.
I have to do what's gonna help me move forward and what it is. And so if I'm coming on here and I'm coming to talk to whoever I'm talking to in the moment, I have to talk about because this is life with Tashana. I don't. This is what my thought process is right now. Is I'm focused on this, and I'm telling you, as the week goes on, and whatever finna happen, and I've been saying this since early this morning, something is about to happen, and when that happens, trust me, I'm gonna be on here to let y'all know what it is. Because it is finna open up Pandora's box. And not only is she ready, it's not like she's coming for me. She's setting her children up that are younger than me to come for me. Because, see, it's her children that she's been lying to and telling all of these little different things. But honey, all of the children, her children, my mom's children, me, all of us, we grown adults now. And so you done trained your little army up to come my way. God said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. He never told me the weapon would not be formed. Baby, I done been through basic training and all of it. I'm ready. Entertainment, whatever it may be. I might shed some tears or whatever. Let it be people's entertainment. In the midst of all of the foolishness, there's going to be a lesson that's learned. And I think we all going to get a little bit of something out of it. Because, see, one of the first questions I asked, can anything good come out of sleeping with somebody else's husband or wife? I can remember that first question that I ever asked it when I started to go down the lanes of this. Can anything good come out of sleeping with somebody's husband or wife?
And
And
see,
I only had one person attempt to really answer that question, and the way they answered it was shocking because the person was like, "Well, it all depends." I promise you on everything.
well,
They
to
came
that,
in my inbox and said, "It all depends." I don't know. I don't understand how it all depends. Like, what good can come out of that situation?
To that, I my maternal grandmother, I love her dearly. God rest her name was, I want to say her name just in case somebody see this, but this is on my mother's side, who had was with a married man. I can't ask her questions. I can't ask him questions, but she's not to say that she wasn't a good woman,
Mm-hmm.
but I I asked when I was younger. I was like, did she know he was married? Because Helen and Steve. I just and I know it frustrated my mother because a lot of times I compare stuff to my other grandparents. So like my other, but and people are usually closer to their maternal family. I'm
Right.
not.
It's the
Every
opposite way.
everything comes from my dad's
Well,
side
look,
of it.
Shalissa had a question for you. Are you saying like one of the people she speaks of could be watching? Or is that what you thinking, that like one of the some of the people who I'm speaking about in this story, like they could be watching?
No, no, no. I was just speaking like, well, I guess you could say if they're enjoying it, if they're enjoying seeing you cry, whoever could be enjoying you. I wasn't really thinking of them per se, but hell,
Well,
they got.
in that aspect, if they are watching and that was one of your concerns, I don't care nothing about these people crying the tears. I want to be able to pour the words out that I got to say to them. Bump the tears. They can see, and if I talk to them face to face, some tears might want to come out, because let me tell you something. Over the years, these have been some people that, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I've literally been in places where I've had somebody begging me not to put my hands on one of them, begging me. So this is not like some sort of thing like I care about them, like, and I'm just saying this for your sake, like I care about them seeing me cry or any of that stuff. If daddy, go ahead and see me. Watch the tears flow or whatever. That's my way of dealing with the pressures that I have on me and having to do things different than what I used to do before. So that part of it, I don't care. I know how to use my words and I know how to have conversations with people. So I'm no longer in that place. And if they do see me crying, then oh well.
But I want
By
to.
the time I finish telling what I need, by the time I finish telling what I need to tell, they're gonna be crying along with me. So because I'm telling you, I'm going to tell it all. Even down to the time when he was looking between my legs while I was laying on the sofa. Nah.
Who?
Okay. You heard what I said. I said it. So when I tell you, I got a whole lot of stuff to say. I got a lot to say. While you over there trying to act like you got the world champ over there laying up in your place. You got a piece of shit. Siblings, daddy, and all. He's a piece of shit, is what he is. Nah. We gonna all cry together. You cry, we cry together. Okay. That's what we gonna do. Not gonna be me by myself. And that's what I'm telling you. I've been holding a lot in for a long time. For a long time. So if you think they having a good time watching me cry, baby, we gonna cry together. And that's on everything. And I ain't coming on here telling nothing that my siblings don't already know. Cause honey, I done already prepared them for about what I'm about to do to that ass. I've already prepared them. My family ain't on here crazy, not knowing what I'm talking about. Even the ones that I talk about on here, they know that I was gonna come and talk about them. And that's on everything. I ain't coming out here to shock no world or no nothing with what I'm saying. Hell, if you want to acknowledge who you is, jump up and down and say, yeah, it's me that she talking about. Other than that, I'm not saying no names, but I'm gonna get what I got on my chest off when it's time for me to get it off. Hmm. When I can show up to your house and pull up in your yard, and the only thing you can do is peek your head out, one of your eyes out the window, baby, you scared. Okay.
Well, to finish what I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
my grandma with the lady husband, because they have professional photos in a club together. My grandma, but I can't. I don't. I'm never going to get the answers. But when I was little, I would, because I couldn't grasp the concept of two households. Because when she passed away, I think she was like 77. So at 60 something, he would be spending the night. So I couldn't understand, like, it didn't make, but now I don't. So I just, and then one day, his wife done passed away too. One day I saw his wife in Walmart because I worked in Sanford, where
Mm-hmm.
they're from. And so I saw my other cousin on that side, and she was like, "What's up, cuz?" And the wife said, "That ain't your cousin." And she was like, "Grandma, this is my cousin." It was just so weird, cause this is granddaddy. And you know what's so crazy? I look like him. They none of them look like him, and I look like him. And my Maurice, my cousin, he got moles all over his face just like him.
Mm.
It's like, and they're to me they don't look like him, and so it's kind of like God made us like ring, ring, ring. These is grandchildren, like you can't hide them, but that's
But
my.
it's that seemed to be. And listen, literally, when I came to Jamestown, none of this stuff never bothered me until I came to Jamestown. But it was almost like that's what was surrounded by you. You had a bunch of people who were pretending like things went this way. And the truth be told is when you went out there, everybody was talking about how other people had children with other people when all the older people that were out there, they had all done the same thing, but they was all talking about people as if they hadn't did anything. And every single one of them out there was married and got babies with somebody else's husband or this person. Man, am I
Wait, in
lying?
Jamestown?
In Jamestown.
Listen,
Am
this
I,
this
but
photo
am
right
I
here.
see when I talk about stuff like this, nobody
Hold
don't
on, hold
want
on,
to.
hold on. I'm in Jamestown, y'all. This photo right here, that's my grandmother's husband's son photo that he drew on the he cheated on her, but he ended up living here, and he drew this painting on the wall. His illegitimate child, or whatever you call him, drew that on the wall.
Oh
Jimmy.
girl, I never knew that.
I'm trying to so y'all can see it. It's Pac-Man.
I can see. I can see it. I see the Pac
But she
Man.
took him in. Everybody around got somebody.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm saying though. But that's what I came up in the midst of is everybody's telling you how to live your life properly and what not to do and what to do and talking about everybody that's having kids. Oh, that ain't none of his baby and that ain't none of their baby, and then only to find out that all of you, almost every house in there, every one of them was married and they all got children with somebody else's husband or whatever, and they all try to act like they ain't never been in that situation before. And see stuff like that I can't stand. Okay, so like if I run into somebody who got a baby and they were saying that one other person was their baby daddy and it come out to be not their baby daddy, I ain't finna go out here and be telling their story as if I ain't never did it before. My my thing is gonna be, child, what's the name had a baby and that ain't none of her, then such and such ain't none of her baby daddy. But I ain't got nothing to say about it because she ain't gonna be the first and she ain't gonna be the last. It happened to me too. Instead, they block. It's like being surrounded by a bunch of people who love to talk down on other people's situation, but they did the same thing too, as if they better than them or something. And that right there, I can't rock with that. Every time I tell you a story about something that you're doing or whatever, I always end it with telling you about something that I did my own self that's similar to that because I want you to know in that way, I'm not beating you down in the ground. I'm just trying to help you to avoid running into the wall. I'm not finna sit by and watch you crash into no wall. And that's what I ran into a lot of round there in Jamestown.
When I found out that the
Everybody want to
candy
talk about
lady,
everybody, but ain't no everybody who talking about everybody did the same shit what they talking about somebody else.
when I found out that the candy lady, all them kids went from her husband, I
She was the first one that I ran into that was telling me about and I'm gonna just say one of the white girls that lived in the neighborhood. She was telling me about her kids being born and that her husband was not those babies' daddy. And don't go past that. You heard when I say babies. She was telling me that that's one her. I literally, when she said it, I couldn't even hold it in. I said, but I heard that I heard that some of your kids don't belong to your husband too. I say one thing I know about it. I say she ain't the first, and she ain't gonna be the last, because I've did it before. I've done that before. Said that somebody, and let me tell you something. When I said it, I knew that I was lying when I said it. I didn't want, I didn't want my kid to be with the person who I was with.
now I know what you mean about the sauce.
The what? What happened?
Somebody, so I just something just became clear to me that my sister said to me earlier, but I had a stupid answer to it. But now I get it, so I was just answering her question. And you coming on here?
And I see Miss Monet said, and because of the lies, T, you are not tied to her past. The Hey, Miss Monet, and would I take that and say, the truth, you know, shall set you free. Not what nobody else's truth is, but the truth that you know shall set me free. And so far, that's what's happening with me. Is the truth that I know is what been setting me free and keeping me not worried about what none of these people got to say or know nothing. It's just like I just want to tell my story and get it done and over with. But since there's people that's showing up that got um I got so much information that I'm like, as a child, I shouldn't even know. I should not even know all of this stuff. I should not even know. I should not even know this stuff, but I know it. I know it, and it's ridiculous. Um, yes, you did ask the question. In the beginning, I sure did. I asked that question about 15 years ago, and it was only one person that was willing to answer it. And the one person who literally engaged in the conversation with me, don't say her whole name, but Kill. She was the only one that that engaged in the conversation with me back then. Don't add no more to the name or no nothing. I'm just trying to give you an
No,
abbreviation of.
because I heard that her
Girl, don't
grandmother.
say that. Don't say it. But well, you already know. Well, you already know why I'm like, out of all people that said anything, because I ain't on here. I ain't even that part of it right there. Like I don't bring up none of that type of stuff unless like that's the conversation that's on the table. We ain't talking about none of that
And
stuff. But
then when I found out that the littlest sister got hair like mine but shorter,
mm-hmm.
was the child of the man that was in the army, like to keep his yard nice. I was, and now they look exactly alike to me.
Girl, stop telling Jamestown secrets.
I'm just like, what is happening?
Stop telling they secrets, girl. Cause you know that
Because I'm just,
hey, you already know the favorite thing is to lie on Shauna and make Shauna see what hey, I was the one that nobody ain't never seen, ain't hardly see out nowhere. But I was the one that was made. They made the most lies up about out there. It's like they wanted me to be the worst of the worst. You couldn't even come over to my house without being a bad person when you came over there because you was connected to us. But didn't know that over at Shauna them, how Shauna them didn't play that shit, right? Truth be told. Wasn't nothing going on over the Shauna house that no kid ain't got no business doing. But see,
Nothing wrong.
they didn't know that. They didn't know that when your kid come over here, they gotta act like they got some sense when they come over here. But I everything that I did, they tried to put something on it to make me out to be the bad person. Why? Because I wasn't out hanging around nobody, talking to anybody. I don't know what it was.
That's why I felt like so comfortable with you because everybody felt like you was mean. So people were trying to understand why would I be over there since you were a mean person. But you don't mince words, and Helen doesn't mince words. So someone
Mm-hmm.
being mean is not scary to me. It's just you. Helen wasn't just gonna be in the streets, and if she knew she didn't like you, it just wasn't finna just be like that. And to me, you were the same. So I never associated with you with like fear or anything. Like the
I
time I went
and
over to
to
get my
me,
hair braided by
if
you, and I knocked on your door, and I was like, I don't think she's gonna braid my hair, but this is the only person I know. And you were like, sure. And I was like, oh great. And everybody was like, you let Shauna braid your hair? I'm like, yeah. Even though it took like 3 days because I couldn't take it, but if
yes,
you would
we
have
have
said no, then I just would have turned around
to.
and then that turned into next thing you know I was over there all the time. I don't know what. I just wanted my hair braided and
But that was something that normally happened to me throughout my whole entire life. I don't know what people say that I wear my somebody was telling me in my chat the other day that girl when you be on when you be on them other people channels and stuff like that and they be talking and say I wear my expressions all over my face that I be making all kind of faces and stuff. And I know that I do that. But one thing that I've never been able to do was look at myself and see myself as I look like I'm mean. But you're not the only person. People have told me that told me that my whole life that I look like I'm mean. Even at a job, there was a girl that was working at my job. Um, she said that she would have never talked to me if it wasn't for somebody else talking to me that she's friends with because I've always looked mean to her. And I was like, I look mean. She was like, yeah, you look just like you really mean. And I can be, but I'm not like that, you know. But I've heard that for a long time. Truth as always, even as a child. Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why my grandma and I feel like my mother couldn't really get along because she just not finna just be. But my mama wasn't raised like that. My grandma was very. She my her mother would like appease the situation. Helen
Hmm.
not finna appease nothing.
Yeah.
And I just said a lot of stuff that I didn't really like, but I was raised by her, so it wasn't like a I don't know somebody being direct or sharp. I just that's not, I don't know. It just doesn't bother me. But
Yeah, I kind of feel like my mama was one of those people. Like she was straightforward. Like I feel like with our family and stuff like that, but like with people that was on the outside of the family or whatever like that, I feel like she wasn't as real with them. And I feel I kind of like the first 20 years of my life was kind of mirrored like the way my mom dealt with people or whatever. But then it's like the other let's just say let's split it in half. So I'm about to be 48 years old. So 24 years of my life I spent being very quiet and shut up. Once I got to the second half of those 48 years, it's like the floodgate been opening up slowly and slowly and slowly. And then it's just like, you know, like the levees um over there in Katrina. You know, they started off slow and then it just all of a sudden it's just wide open. There it is. Bam, it's there. So you know, I kind of feel like that's where I am right now. And it's not a person that is around me that I talk to that I can't just be flat honest with them. Rather, they're not going to like what I say or whatever it may be. It's just that's just how I am. And I've had family. I mean, one time when my great grandma had passed away, and we had went to her house. My great grandma had been living with her son and his wife. When we came there, I know she had a closer relationship with my grandma than I did because we hadn't seen them in years and years and years. But anyways, when the situation happened, my grandma passed away sitting at the table, and her face fell into a bowl of cereal. So I know for my uncle's wife that had to be traumatizing for her to come around the corner and see her there face down in the cereal like that, and they had been there, whatever. So I I had never
Shalissa.
been in, huh? So
Keep going. I just read what Shalissa put up.
I never been in no situation like that or whatever, right? But when other people start coming there to the house after she passed away, somebody had pulled my uncle's wife to the side and told her that they feel like she was acting funny or whatever, right? So yeah, when I first had went there to the house, I did feel like she was acting a little bit funny. But as I got there, and I'm young really too at this time, I'm probably like 24 or whatever. So when I said, yeah, it did kind of feel like, in my opinion, I did feel like you were being a little bit funny or whatever. But what you can consider as somebody acting funny is just you not have being paid attention to or taken into consideration what this person just went through. So as I sat down and I start to consider what she had been through and everything, I can understand why she's moving the way she is. But because I was open and honest and able to say that, honey child, that whole side of the family like cut me off for being honest, and I'm just like, and that's why I don't like dealing with people. They ask you a question, and then when they don't get the answer that they want to hear or whatever, then something wrong with you. So it's like literally that whole side of the family in Jacksonville just like completely quit talking to me, and I'm just like, and the only thing that could come up, and even the same way I'm talking to you about it right now is the same way that I was talking to her. I literally explained it to her in that way. And I was just like, yeah, when I first came in, I did think you were being a little over, a little extra or whatever. And it was just like with her telling people how to do everything and everything when they came in the house, just like those types of situations, whatever. But I was honest to say to her, yeah, I did think that way in the beginning, but then it changed after I considered what all you went through. And even after me saying all of that, it was like, we ain't messing with you no more. So it just like, and I'm cool with that. But the only thing that I'm not cool with is when you have those type of situation and then people think that they just should be able to walk back in your life, and then you don't need to, you can't go back and talk about, you can't fix or talk about any of those situations where you been. To me, I find that to be a crock of BS that we done fell out and now we get to show up in each other's face and pretend like ain't nothing happened. I can't roll like that. I can't do it. I have to have conversations. I have to have conversations with people. I don't know that much on the internet. If I something happened with somebody on the internet, it's like I probably wouldn't find it um so much so that valuable to be going back and forth or have the conversation with them. I don't know. But in my real life, I like to have conversations. I like to resolve issues. I like to, what do you call it? I don't like garbage. I can't pretend. I can't be fake with
That's
you,
where we connect.
sit around and act like we the best of friends, and we really don't rock like that or no nothing. I can't do it. It's just not the way that I'm set up. So
If we
you
gonna
know,
have a conversation, I expect for us to be honest. And even if we having the conversation, I will be willing to accept, like, you know what, maybe I wasn't right. I could see how that could hurt your feelings. When I'm having a conversation with people and we can't both connect as far as like, I see where you're coming from, as well as, even though maybe I didn't intend for you to feel that way, I can understand why you felt that way. But I also want you to understand what I was trying to say. And I feel like that's when me and you connect, me and Shalissa connect. And it's like we'll have a conversation and nothing ever grimy happened because I never really hung with you. But Shalissa can.
Yeah, you and Shalissa.
Not between me and Shalissa, but like
you and Shalissa got a different relationship.
Shalissa, I don't like this name because I feel like it's too close to my name.
And I think she kind of stole it from over there a little bit,
And where did this name come from? And it's supposed to be Natrina. I don't.
Music Bird made that name up for her. She be making names up for everybody. What's that stupid name she be calling me?
Call you?
Yes, she got a name for me. She be calling me Toshiba.
Call you what?
Toshiba. Yes.
I ain't never heard that.
Girl, you don't want.
Why you don't have no name for me?
No, I didn't make it up. I'm telling you, if Music Bird come through and she be making up those stupid names for people, so she gave Shalissa that name, and then she gave me the name Toshiba, and I'm like, why? Stop calling me that. So when she come through in the chat and stuff, she even come in here with that garbage, calling you something. There you go. Just look at Shalissa rolling it. She gonna even type it in the chat. Sound like she named me after some toe jams or whatever. But yeah, even listen, I done been in a situation before where, and let me be honest, this is one of my honest moments, right? So one time, somebody who I'm real close to, I ain't gonna say the name, if they want to say who they is or whatever, you're like, let's get to the root of the matter, and you're very aware of it. Absolutely I am, Miss Mo. That you will have it right on the head. And if I'm wrong in a situation, I'm willing to say I'm wrong. So I'm gonna tell you about a situation that I was in with somebody, they watched the page or whatever, right? So this one time, me and my husband was going through whatever situation, right? And
no. Yeah.
What?
Oh, go ahead. Because I want to speak about a situation that with someone that you're very close to, I'm very close to, and Shalissa's very close to. And
okay, well, let me tell this.
But I'm not gonna tell a story, but I want to. But go ahead.
Okay.
My computer about to shut off. I love y'all, but I'm gonna stay till it cut off.
Okay, love you too. But I was me and my husband was going through something this day. We was having an argument back and forth with each other, right? And then somebody called and asked him, who I totally trust. I don't got no issues with it, whatever. But whatever was happening on this day, whatever come out of my mouth just came out of my mouth, right? So they called and they asked, can he come around to their house and put their radio or something together? Something had happened or whatever, right? She called his phone. She didn't say nothing to me. But because of the situation that I was in at the time, and I'm telling you,
it's the same person.
I'm telling you, there's really no issue like that. It's just that I was mad on that day, right? Whether it's a woman or whatever, I totally trust my husband around her or whatever. But because me and him going at it this day, right? I get mad at her and I call her and I say, listen, the next time you want my husband to do something for you, you better call me first before you call him and have him come around your house. I snapped off just like that, right?
I remember.
Hung up the phone. So you know it. So you done heard about it. So
but it's the same person.
Okay. So I'm telling you about it. So you know that's a true thing. That's a true thing that happened, right? So now when I first do this, I make the phone call and I hang up the phone, right? And I can tell that she feels some type of way, but she didn't really say anything when I'm talking to her. And so I hang up the phone, we get off the phone, and I'm gonna say about Well, right after I get off the phone, I already know that I'm wrong for what I did. It wasn't the right thing to do. So I just let some time go by because I'm real stubborn and I'm like, I ain't going to apologize because she should know that this is this and this is it, whatever, right now. So I talked to one of my sisters about it. And my sister was like, Shauna, I think you already know that you're wrong and you owe her an apology for it. And I said, yeah, part of me do know I'm wrong for this, but I'm gonna apologize when I get ready to apologize. And she said, okay then, but I just want you to know that I'm telling you, you wrong for doing that because you had never required that before, and it's not the first time. So okay. But I already know right after I did it that I was wrong. But now my sister is confirming it to me that I am wrong and I need to apologize for it. So I'll say about a month or two go by, and me and this person is like close. She's a sister to me, right? I let some time go by. I didn't say anything. And one day we end up at 7-Eleven. She on one side of the pump, I'm on the other side of the pump. We don't know that each other's showing up there. And on this day, I already know that God giving me a challenge. You better make something shake today, or there's gonna be some consequences behind it. So I see her there and I say to her, and she doesn't even speak to me. You know, she just there, but she was like, she ain't speaking to me. I know nothing. But I looked around the pump and I like spoke to her and I said, hey, how you doing? Like that. She was like, I'm all right. And you know, she left it like that. I say, well, since we here today, I say, if you have time later on today, could you come by and let me talk to you? And she was like, what time or whatever. It's like she trying to set up an appointment, but I know she right now she trying to be hard because of how I did her or whatever. So she ended up coming by and I ended up having a conversation with her and telling her that what I did on that day was absolutely wrong. But what I will say is that is a good practice to happen, but the order that I did it out of was not right. I was mad with my husband at the time, and I took what I was mad with him about, I took it and I used it towards you, and I was wrong for it. And I'm sorry that it took me this long to come back and apologize. See, that's the kind of stuff like I can't go face to face with somebody and just pretend like something didn't happen. That's the way that I operate. I've never been able to do that. Even a person who come to me wanting to be friends on Facebook and something that happened in our real life while I don't mess with you, I ain't finna hit the I accept button if we ain't had no conversation. I operate like that in real life. Real life. I don't have time to be pretending and faking the funk with nobody. No nothing, because I already told you I'm the kind of person that I'll pray somebody away in a heartbeat, and especially if they ain't supposed to be around me. Like I don't right now, I don't even care. It's like right now, I got 16,000 subscribers. If I went down to 16 of them tomorrow, because a lot of those people don't show up, it doesn't even seem like I have that many subscribers or whatever. Where are they? Are they somewhere off in the abyss somewhere? It's like, what is happening? Why don't none of those people get any notification? I wouldn't care. As long as the people who I'm supposed to be talking to or who God has put in my way to be able to say something to, as long as those people there showing up, and if it's the only if it shows 0 while I'm running my mouth, then that's fine and dandy with me. I'm still gonna say what I need to say and get it up off of me. And when I'm wrong, I don't have a problem with apologizing and making things right if I can, if I'm given the opportunity. But yeah, I don't have any time for none of the fakeness. So, you know, that's just how I roll. So if I offend somebody or I say something wrong to somebody, now there are some things that I might say, and some people in the chat or whatever may not agree with what I'm got to say. You ain't none of that ain't none of my issues. Those are not none of my issues because this is my page and I'm saying what I'm saying. So I'm saying if I say something and I personally offend somebody, they're offended by what I said or whatever, that's going to be one of those situations where that's going to probably have to be your business. I'm not talking about in that way, but I'm saying like in personal relationships or something, or I'm having a personal conversation with you, like maybe I was having with Pretty Brown while she was up here. If I'm having a type of situation like that and I offend you in those times, and I'm honestly not trying to do that, or if I'm saying something to you and I totally meant what I said, you're not gonna get an apology from out of me. I said what I said, and I feel like if I said what I said, I meant what I said to try and get you to someplace. And if you ain't able to understand that in that time, then probably right now we're gonna need a break in between us, and then we'll come back together when God says it's time for us to come back together again. But that's the kind of person who I am. I feel like I can take accountability for anything where I step wrong. And sometimes I take accountability for things that I should not be taking accountability for because it's not my fault. But I feel like in the time that if I'm talking about something and I feel like I could have did something a little bit different, you might get an apology out of me, and then I'll be one of those ones that I snatch it right on back to. So how else am I going to grow? And Miss Monet, that is what I'm all about. I want to grow. So I put myself in places where I'm ready to hear somebody tell me that I did something wrong, and I'm willing to accept what I have done, to go ahead and move past it. And I'm also not a person that once I apologize to somebody about something and you think you're going to keep on beating me over my head about it, you better ask somebody, because I'll tell you in a heartbeat, honey, I don't apologize to you. And what I did, you ain't going to keep on taking it and beat me over the head. I'm just an honest person like that. So, you know, I just feel like you can't, Miss Monet, you can't grow if you ain't willing to hear somebody's truth about you, and if you ain't willing to tell the truth. Because that's really the only way you can know somebody is they willing to tell the truth, right? Other than that, you know a lie. You know some lies. But I don't know if I helped somebody with this conversation tonight, or I gave y'all another part of the story. But I'm gonna also add, I think I'm gonna add this conversation to that playlist, because what I'm talking about, the area that I am in right now, and that's what I'm gonna start doing, is when I start back talking about certain situations um that I haven't talked about in a long time. When I do start talking about them, I'm gonna create a playlist. So those of you all who don't know, are not caught up on the story, see, like Miss Monet don't really be having no questions like that, because Miss Monet been here from day one when I was talking about this stuff. So she pretty much up on the story of how this whole situation happened. Um, but I'm also trying to find places that I can grow in, possibly places that I haven't considered yet. But I will create playlists when I pick up these stories and start back talking about them again. So then that's a way for a person to go back and see the whole entire story, to understand why we talking about it the way we talking about it today. Because there's a lot of people up under those comments and stuff that are very confused as why they think I'm the other woman, and like I've slept with somebody else's husband, and then like she's getting consequences from me, or I'm paying her back because I slept with her husband or something. And that's not the way this whole situation is. I was a whole child mixed up in this. So I've already created that playlist, and I released the playlist last night. So those of you all who are not caught up on this story and you're a little confused about what's happening here, the playlist is there, and it's called My Mom Slept with That Lady's Husband. So I appreciate you all for being here tonight and coming to listen to me vent and talk about the things that's going on. And these are the things, we all over the place. This is Life with Tashana. I told y'all this like a box of chocolate. One day you may come through, we may be out in the garden showing y'all how to grow some food and stuff. You may see us harvesting some food. You can catch us anywhere. You might see me on another part of the house or whatever, but it's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get, because you walking through life with me as stuff happened to me on a day-to-day basis. And this is where my mind is right now, thinking through this stuff, going through this stuff, talking to people about these things. And so as I talk to them and work through it, I'm going to be on here talking with y'all about it. And also, hopefully, in this situation, people are learning that why not get your own, so you don't have to come up with any of you don't have to come up with any of these places, because I don't know one woman that in her life she would go and sleep with somebody's husband, have 3 kids with him, and then she pass away, only for the woman whose husband you were sleeping with to end up helping raise your children. Hmm. I don't know a woman that actually wants to be in that place. So if I can help somebody by talking them out of being in one of those situations, because it's enough men out here and it's enough women out here for you to be with theirs on and don't have to be with everybody else's on. Because I'm pretty sure that's, basically how everybody wants it. People make up these stories and stuff and say that they don't want their own man, they want it this way, when all actuality you all toe up on the inside and you actually want them to yourself, but you pretending like that's not how life. It's better get your own situation and be with somebody who want to be in the same type of situation that you in, and not create this, because this is a whole mess. And of course everybody wants to protect their parents and all of this stuff. So now I'm gonna end up in this situation, and the first part of me wants to protect my mom, but another part of me also knows, because at the time when this happens I'm a married woman, and I can't really protect my mom in this situation. I can't protect her legacy, because she actually did this. She did this, and I got included into the situation by default, just trying to help my siblings. So if you don't want to add any of this stuff to your kids' life or whatever, you have to grow in a different way. You have to do things differently. So that's what I'm here for, to possibly talk some people out of running into these same situations, or this being your situation, because you don't have to be here. And you shouldn't want your kids to grow up in situations like these. So that's my purpose in speaking on this, though I get angry about it or upset, cry tears about it and stuff, whatever, because I'm working through my own things at the same time while this situation is going on. But you all, I'll be blabbing on and on and on. But I appreciate you all for being over here, where we are the high class gardeners, and that just means we make sure we're growing stuff at all times of the year. The high class part just means we don't play around with bugs, snakes, and worms, and that's in real life. And we don't spray that funny stuff on our food and stuff that we are growing. And we take whatever we growing out in the garden and connect it to our real life. Kind of like if you plant a seed into the ground, when that seed pops through the soil, that's your breakthrough. That's what growing stuff it represents for me. So if you need breakthroughs and everything, get you a seed and plant it into the ground and let your seed, they say plant a seed. Plant a seed, but be careful of the seeds you planted. See, when I plant something, if I plant a strawberry, I'm looking for a strawberry to grow, not a cabbage to grow. Be careful of the seeds that you plant. But if you're interested in growing that way, then come over here and keep growing with us. Because regardless of where you think we are right now, that's what we interested in over here, is growing from our situations. These are situations that I was put in, and I'm trying to navigate through how I work through all of this. Haven't been to counseling, no any of this, and all of this stuff was happening to me at the same time. So I'm interested in growing. I hope that's what you all are over here for. And if you're just here for the entertainment, I think you still can learn something from that too. But for right now, we don't switch shifts and everything, because usually I'm on here in the morning time. One time I was on here late night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But like I said, this is life with Tashana. You never know what you're gonna get. So but I appreciate you all for coming through and spending your time with me, because you could have been anywhere else but over here. And I appreciate you all for that. And if you don't mind, like my moderator said, please hit the like button on the way out, guys. And those of you, I appreciate you all for hitting the like on the way in. And thank you all for joining us. I will talk to y'all sometime tomorrow, maybe 2 or 3 times tomorrow. We just don't even know. But I will see you all sometime tomorrow. Y'all have an amazing night of rest. Thank you all.